And we're here.
Hello.
Oh,
Look,
oh, look,
I was serenading.
you can't tell me I ain't your boy because I could have let you just.
Hola.
we here. We here, everybody.
Hello.
To all our fans who watch out there in television land, howdy. To all
Hi.
our fans
Hey
who watch out
y'all.
there in computer land, hi.
Hey
To
y'all.
all our friends who watch out there in mobile phone land, hi.
Hey y'all.
Just want to get up close and personal to y'all. It's been a while.
Hola.
Every time, look, this show is a go live show every time. Look, that's Grey Goose I'm sipping on. What are you sipping on tonight?
Always tea. Green
Tea.
tea with a little honey.
I enjoy green tea. It's really good. I've never had that with whiskey.
I'm sure with the whiskey it's the same. But I have a medley of tea. I love tea.
Tea is good.
Yeah, it
Do you,
helps
do you,
cleanse me, and I'm always cold, so it's my nightcap.
yeah. I might need to start doing a nightcap that's not Grey Goose.
It's an option.
Mm, Grey Goose goes well with Call of Duty in the evening. That's
Well,
all I
it
can say.
does, but I just I don't like how alcohol makes me that after feeling. It's and
But
or the during feeling. It's
what
just
kind of alcohol do you drink? I mean, is it vodka?
I don't drink. So only time I drink is like Tex-Mex, Mexican food. It
Margarita?
deserves a margarita. Yeah, you gotta have it.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Uh,
tequila.
but other than that, I might I might drink a wine
I like some wine.
every now and then, but that's every now and then. But for the
I had
most
a,
part, I don't like how it tastes
I had
or
a good 2019
how it
the other Sunday. It laid me down.
what's
It
the
was
2019?
it was produced in the year 2019, so
Wh
as
I'm
wine ages, it
Oh,
gets
wine.
better.
You talking about
Wine, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I thought that was like a liquor brand or something.
No, 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 no. But they do have some kind of tequila, 1875 or some
Okay.
jive. But it wasn't none of that. This was vodka. But everybody's not a big drinker. Some of us are are good tea drinkers. But you know, saying that because the liquor is not always good for the liver,
No, it's not
and a
or
lot
the
of time
belly
or the
or
belly.
the sugars.
All of those things, the bellies, the sugars, a lot of these things that us as black men are plagued with as we get into our 40s, and we don't know why. And we down in a bottle of Grey Goose during the week, but it's not my fault. I got podcasts all week. I got to stay. It's my podcast juice.
Don't do that. Don't you blame that on us.
I'm not blaming it. It's an enhancer to the situation. Everybody wants me to be loose as a goose. You don't want me to be coming here with my work stress and all this stuff. You want me
No,
to
we don't want that. We don't want the stress. Stress is not healthy either.
mm-mm, mm-mm. And all those things can be remedied or even helped to be taken
Yeah.
care of
Mhm.
if you go to your doctor and get some regular visits, people. I mean, there's a few things, and we as men and women here now, we're over 40, there's some exams that are coming up that we probably want to talk about because I've heard a lot of people not not happy about these exams. And I think it's important that we, as getting in these relationships, we need to know what the other side is going through. And as I've been doing a little research on this, I think I'm kind of disappointed. I don't say disappointed, but there's some exam things going on that I'm kind of concerned about with men. And I think you women once again have the best idea about what's going on. But look, let's hit a little intro and then let's get into these exams when you over 40.
All right, let's.
I like to give the people the full intro in case
Yeah,
they're
I
like,
never
I
know.
need to,
It's always a surprise. I don't know if I'm getting the long or short, how long I got. Sometimes it's like a game. I see if I can run do something real quick.
yeah, you gotta
But
stay on
some-
your toes. You
Yeah,
gotta jump through the kitchen.
yeah,
Ah!
it's part of my exercise.
Yeah, but sometimes people might want to go refresh their beverage or put the kids to bed before we get into it. So I want to give them the opportunity, 20 seconds. Y'all sit down, shut up.
Well,
Sorry.
speaking of, if you hear something, I have one at my feet today, so we'll see how that goes.
Is the one awake or is the one asleep?
No, fully awake.
Okay, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll just play through as they say at golf.
If you just see blank,
Oh, okay. I'll that's when I'll hit this one right here. All right, everybody. So this
that is life after 40.
there's life after 40. Look, I'm about the only. I think I only got one friend who doesn't have a child, and most of the time she asks me, "What are we gonna do this weekend?" I was like, "Hood rat stuff with my friends." I was like, That's what I want to do." But as I'm getting 40, I start seeing these commercials
As you
on
getting
TV.
40.
Getting into 40.
Okay, come on now, cause you
It
in
is.
there.
Oh, look,
We
I'm not. Look, hold on. I love my salt and pepper right
okay.
there. You know how many comments I got from women? It's like, I really love the beard.
See,
Now that I shaved it off, so I was like, I accept. I was ready for getting over 40. I knew when I got to 40, I was gonna come up with that salt and pepper. And if I hit the gym and stayed healthy, I was gonna get all the calls like Morgan Freeman,
yeah,
and then be sexiest man of the year at some point before 50.
yeah. See, that's one of those things. You get salt and pepper and immediately become distinguished and sexy. A woman gets gray hair, she old and ready to be thrown out.
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I beg to differ. I like a woman with a little salt and pepper. Matter of fact, I like a woman with a full complement of gray hair. I think that's very sexy. Um, I know a woman, and she watches our show. Shout outs out in Florida now. She was a professional bodybuilder, not
Okay.
bodybuilder, professional swimsuit model, and
Okay.
is still a professional. Could be a swimsuit model at 55, completely silver in her hair. Gorgeous woman, gorgeous
Okay.
woman.
A completely silver is different than a spotted gray.
So
That's
you now you
it's
make it
totally
sound like a dog color, spotted gray. Like that's a horse.
no,
Don't call it a spotted gray. Look,
no,
she's a
no, no.
spotted gray.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I
A
know what you're
gray
talking
here, a gray there, a gray where it's not doing anything. There's no real pattern to it.
about. But
It's
you
not
know,
the same as a completely silver fox. That
okay,
looks that looks good. Yeah, that's
okay,
different.
all right. So let's differentiate because us as guys, y'all start talking about the gray. The silver fox, but I think I don't really have a problem with gray hair. Um, it doesn't.
I
I
could
don't
be
know,
projecting.
huh?
I could be projecting.
You could be predictable, but I think a lot of women have problems with the gray hair. They don't like it. I mean, you see the Just for Men, they always like, do you want to make your beard seem to be less like an old man's beard? It's like, no, because then I'd have to be getting more 25 and 26-year-old women trying to come talk to me. And that's the last thing I want to fucking do is deal with one of them. Like, I mean, y'all are beautiful and y'all are wonderful women, but just it's there's not many women and there are not many people at that age that are mature enough to deal with people in their 40s. I'm just not. I'm not calling it, and saying I'm great, but we are 41 and 40ish, and so there are things that when you start talking about, music, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my uncle listened to that," you like,
Come on, Uncle Omi.
I know, and that's what makes it horrible. 'Cause my niece is 13. I'm like, it's like, wait, I played basketball with your uncle in fifth grade. Like, I feel bad about this, but
Yeah,
so it is something to that. But you don't feel. Let me rephrase that question. I'm taking it that you don't feel that a woman with grays is being more accepted in the world as sexy now. Is that what you're saying?
never has been. No.
No, no, and true. Back in the day, but I just think like now in the maybe you don't know about us guys. Like I got some. Look, there was. I can't say this because it involves it. She had gray hair.
Okay.
She was probably. I was in my 20s. She was in her 30s. She had started going gray, and what I didn't realize that when you go gray, you can go gray anywhere that there's hair. And
That's fact.
fact, okay. And so it's a completely silver bush.
Did it did it freak you out?
No,
I mean, but you weren't expecting it, were
no,
you?
no, I wasn't expecting,
Okay.
but with her, but once again, she was sexy, and the way she just kind of, she had the confidence. She was just like, "Bye out." I ain't say it was like a bush man, but she had the little happy trail, and
Yeah,
I was like, "Okay,
it was
I see you."
it
Like,
was wintertime. It was winter.
yeah, yeah, and she had the little spotty gray on her hair, but she
Yeah.
was kind of dealing with it. She was a mother of two, and she was, going through some transition things. So I'm not judging on that, but like, I just feel like sometimes women think that. I hope y'all don't think that we as men are the one going, "Oh, look at that old hag over there," because I mean, it's some dudes running around with old hag like, "What's up, little mama? Let me get that old," and it ain't got nothing to do with a social security check. It's just sometimes you like that. Like I've always been attracted to older women.
Well, I would say that you are an outlier. I would say society as a whole does not value women getting older.
No, I can agree with that. I think that society as a whole makes it seem like y'all get old and y'all need to be put out the pasture and just go out, put it over the hill. But I get old and it's like, hey, look at that
Yeah,
snazzy
you
old
ready.
man over
You
there. Like,
ready. Yeah,
yeah,
you
Scrooge
prime time,
McDuck
ready
here.
to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. It's like, hey, you ready? You got money? As long as you old and got money and slightly in shape, you can have whatever you want
And you
if
ain't
you're a
gotta have
man.
that much money.
No, it's some broke out there getting it in. But and it's a sad thing that we in a society right now that we make women feel that as they get older, and I always wonder why women are like, yeah, I'm 29 again. It's like,
Now
no,
I never said I'm very proud of my not that I'm proud of my age or proud, I shouldn't say proud. I'm very thankful to be able to get older.
hmm hmm
So I've never hit it and I mean, you know, I don't look that bad. So
no, yeah, I
that's a
mean nobody knows that they keep asking me why is she on the show. We know you're over 40, but why is she? And a lot of the one of my white friends, she was like, oh my gosh, she's one of the most beautiful black women I've ever seen. I was like, I kind of looked at the picture. I was like, yeah, she's, because we got our relationship. She aight. It's like my sister. She aight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she cute.
first of
She
all,
aight.
look, and look, I don't quite know how to take most beautiful black women, but okay, I listen. That's not today's show, so I'll
Look,
go with it.
look, it was a compliment. They said
Yeah,
it.
I
It
feel
it amazes me the people that watch this show that come and tell me about stuff about the show and they like it. So we've kind of got off topic, but
yeah.
that's okay.
That's all right. Let's
We're st-
turn this boat back around. Turn around. Where we
we're
going?
still we're still Isaac from the Love Boat. We're still in over 40s, but so now we got these exams coming up,
Oh yes. Oh
and
yeah.
that
We're in
was
the
not that was not a part of getting over 40 that I was looking for. The salt and pepper was, but
okay,
um
but not
these
the
exams.
exam.
No, because you don't know what to expect, and you see all the commercials now for all these different things, especially from the man's standpoint. You know, Total T and she'll like it too, and all these other things. And then have you got your numbers checked? And Ice T is now riding a bike, eating Honey Nut Cheerios, and talking about his heart health and stuff. I'm like, wait, what the hell is going on? Like, I thought we were just selling drugs and pimping hoes, Ice T. Now, now we're
Now
now we're running around with the
you
honey
got to
the Honey Nut
hey,
Cheerio beat.
you got to make sure that your cholesterol and your blood pressure is right so you can keep what you say pimping hoes.
Pimping hoes.
Okay.
It's a-
So
and
n- no, you have to but some of these exams, look, I think it hits you when you keep hearing at 40.
yeah.
But there are some things, especially with the way uh, us as Americans eat and that kind of thing, really some blood pressure. So these things need to be checked before that because
Daily,
young
probably.
folks have high blood pressure problems because of mainly the way we eat. But but we do have some once you hit 40 specific
So,
ones.
question:
Y-
when you looked up the information, I mean, to figure out, because I did some diligent research today on trying to figure this out, and uh, very similar results across the board. And the tests that I'm seeing for men are not more than what I would consider possibly an advanced regular physical. Um,
Correct.
and what are you seeing on the lady side? And I think it's important for fellas to know what your woman is gonna be going through or goes through, because she's sometimes, like, we go to the doctor, we don't be like, "Hey, baby, go to the doctor. I'm about to get my physical," and let them, go to the whatever exam. And sometimes you go there by yourself and you come back with some results, or you're concerned about certain things, and we don't know. You tell your husband or your significant other you're going to get a mammogram, he has no clue what that is. So, I think this might be helpful for us to maybe break some of these down that us guys don't necessarily have to get, because we're not getting mammograms.
Well, men who have risk factors, which like cancer or particular breast cancer that runs in their family,
Hmm.
they are advised to get mammograms as well. Because men, you have breast, men
Yeah,
have breasts too.
yeah.
Uh, but um, but the main one is the mammogram. You get it at 40. I actually went and I've had two now since I'm 41, but I actually got my first one. I believe it was on my birthday. And now I will admit I'd had a mammogram years before when I was in high school because I had a benign lump in my breast back in high school that I had removed. Benign meaning non-cancerous.
Right.
But then and then of course the equipment from when that was I think I may have been about 15, maybe 16 when I had that one. And the equipment has changed drastically
Hmm.
from then until 41. So or to 40. So when I went in, I was like, oh Lord, the same kind of thing. I pressing on my boot. What is the, but
So you were anxious or nervous about the whole situation?
I won't say necessarily anxious or nervous, but I was a little curious,
Yeah.
maybe, you know. But for me, it honestly is not that bad. I mean, I don't mind being nude in front of somebody else, especially another, just a professional,
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
then, and like I said, now there's no real, I mean, it still presses, but it tilts and they put you
It
up and
twists
it
it
tilts
twists the
and
boob.
yeah, no, not your boob, the apparatus that they
It
use.
it tilts to be more comfortable.
Yeah, it adjusts better
Ah.
to be more comfortable. Back in the day, or the one, let me just say the one I remember getting back in my teens, it was a plate that did not move. You prop it up there and it smash you down. There was no adjusting. There was no, are you comfortable? And it was none of that. So
That you made it look like a model shoot right there. And so, everybody,
yeah, so yeah, so it's changed. But that one you get start at 40 with no risk factors. Of course, if there's again breast cancer that runs in the family, then you'll be advised. You and your doctor can y'all discuss, and you're advised to do that a lot earlier.
okay, yeah, like I say, that's an important one. I mean, there's so much going on with breast cancer, especially in the news, and so yeah, we don't have that. The closest thing uh, that I can see, which is another one, colorectal screening.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you want to have your colon screened for
Screening
colon cancer.
for colon cancer, which
Yeah,
is a very
yeah,
common type of cancer,
yeah.
as
You
you know.
once every 10 years, you want to have it.
But you really don't. You don't need to start that one until you're about 45 again, unless you have risk factors. But
But I mean, would it really hurt to take a look early though?
Well, it
And
depends because a lot of doctors are not gonna run some of these tests or put you through some of these tests until you reach a benchmark age.
if I'm concerned and I want to pay for this test,
Well, they hey,
that's
hey,
different.
listen, every business is a profit
It's a
business.
business profit.
You won't pay for it, I'm sure they'll take your money and do it.
Say, look, it says, and I said, exams over 40, colorectal screening,
Mhm,
cancer screening is
mhm.
important. And one thing we know about cancer is you got to get a jump on it. You gotta get a jump on it. If you can get a jump on it, you can possibly beat it. And so, not saying that necessarily you won't have to rate, but it is a colonoscopy, fellas. There's going to be some uncomfortableness with that one. So, but that's other than the big P exam. I mean, there's that's the only other invasive one. Do y'all have an invasive exam that's kind of like the big P exam?
Well, Pap smear, which
That's pretty invasive.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
there's yeah, there's that requires I guess you would know, that requires you laying down.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm. Ah, Lord have mercy. So growing up, I didn't have my father worked long shifts, so I would have to go with my mother and my sister to places, and I'd have to sit in the office at the OBGYN in the waiting room. Of
Okay,
course, it's all
environment.
kind of shit on the walls and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm a science kid and stuff, so I start grabbing the pamphlets out, start reading. So I see Pap smear. It doesn't tell you how it works. It just tells you what it's screened for. So,
Okay.
so I'm thinking the doctor comes in, grabs like this kind of like medical thing, and the woman's like spread out, and he just like whap and smears it across, and then takes it to the lab. It's just that's what I used to always think it was. I
Well,
was
it's
so
I
far
mean,
off, dog. I
you're not
had to be.
all the way wrong, you know.
he whap.
There's
All
no
right, let's
there's no WAP. Why WAP?
Pap smear. I don't know what Pap. It just kind of went. I was a kid. I didn't know how nothing worked.
Oh my god.
I was
Well,
just like,
do
wow.
you know now what it involves? Not too much. You still pretty much think it's that.
In my mind, I like to think it's. I like to think
WAP.
that he should,
What? What?
it just it just makes me feel better about what's
Why
going
though? Why does it make you feel better to think that your poor mama, your sister, me,
on.
all of your friends are sitting in the doctor's office getting wound up? Like, I don't know. How does that make you feel better?
Cause I'm laughing about it right now. It's just funny
Oh
to me.
my
I
God.
just didn't know what was going on.
No, well then you know what? I hope your prostate exam is everything. It's just it's just like this, right? It's just like that.
Stop! I'm crying. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my
I've
God.
never shared that with anybody
I cannot.
before. Listen,
Okay.
whoo, Jesus, that's gonna win an Emmy or
Personally,
something.
okay, let me tell you. My first experience with a pap smear was actually okay, it wasn't wonderful. I would s- but here's the thing. I would still rather have a pap smear than any dental exam.
Okay.
Okay, but that's just me. But my first is okay. Overall, it involves you laying down on the bed. There's a stair. Your feet are up. We scoot all the way to the table. So I mean, let's be honest. We wide open in there.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
wide open.
Yeah.
But and then the doctor comes. There is an apparatus that goes that that's inserted. It's open. The swab, not the smear, not the smack. There,
You don't want to swab up.
there's a swab that goes, and then it's done. Now, if you have a doctor with, I would say, great bedside manner, that apparatus can be warmed, which makes it very comfortable, and it's not so shocking or
He said,
whatever. But it actually, and I mean, it does it. it doesn't even take 2 minutes to do actually, but but you wide open, and then you're done. But it checks for whatever, and you go home. If you don't get any call, that's good, and if you get a call, there you go. Now I've had one abnormal pap smear before,
Hmm.
which just means that like your cell count or something, whatever they're checking for is not within range and things like that. So then they may do other tests, or they may actually, what they did for me that time is I just had to retake it to, see if that was a false negative or false positive or whatever have you. But
Check the scan
um
try.
yeah, but they check for cancer that way, they check for HPV that way. So, and then of course, any woman that's been pregnant before has had, I mean, I mean, it's not a pap smear necessarily that's given, but that wide open, that same checking to make sure everything going on in there is fine.
Hmm.
So,
Mm.
but yeah, and that's done once a year. But pap smear is really, I've been, I think I had my first pap smear at like 16, 17, like 16 or 17. So
Yeah. So nothing like I thought it was.
no, it's get that out of your head. There's
Mm.
gentle, there no, there's no whine. I've never once seen that movement in the, and I better not.
Can you imagine? Can you
Hey,
imagine?
hey, what you doing? I don't need all
Oh
that.
my God. Okay. I'm sorry.
No. So yeah. So,
Oh.
and I'm gonna well, now I'm back at, you have never had a prostate exam.
No, they so the big P exam is not supposed to take place till you're 50 unless there's concerns in your family of prostate
Uh-huh.
cancer, then they
You
suggest
take it.
starting it at 45.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, your day, if you're lucky, your day will be here.
Well, from so a lot of men still don't want to go get prostate exams and they're just yeah, and I don't know exactly what happens. Maybe, technology advances. Maybe it won't be a guy putting his hand or a woman putting their hand in a place that you don't want it to be for a particular time. Maybe they'll have like a drone or like something that can do it. You see that movie where they shrunk down real little and went into that man to try to fight the germs?
I
Or was
know,
it
but
the
I
Magic
can't.
School Bus? The Magic School Bus.
The magic school bus. Yes. Okay. But
Maybe, but if not,
you feel more comfortable with a drone as opposed to this. That's because in your mind you thinking it's going
no.
to launch.
In my mind, I'm thinking it's just like this the whole time, like, and that's weird because it's you just, what you doing back there? This ain't.
But that's a medical situation. That
And so you see stand-up comedians and they be like, "Ha," and they just fall down and stuff. Like I have no clue what's gonna happen, but I'm not afraid to have it happen because it has to be checked. Like, guys, the prostate is very important. That's like a very big sexual organ. Like if that baby ain't flowing, you're gonna have pee problems. You ain't gonna be able to. So you better get that checked because I gotta get my sexy Morgan Freeman after 50.
well, here and that here's the thing. I know a man that this preacher that I speak to sometimes. He always says, if I'd have known I was gonna live this long, I would have took better care of myself.
Mm,
And that's when I hear and see older people who, say things like that, and you don't wait till the problem hits. It's kind of, that's what we always say. It's always about the treatment, but don't,
mm.
we don't want to wait till the problem hit. Oh, now I need to really be for real about my blood pressure. Like no, like
You just
you
had two
can't eat
strokes.
you can't eat salt and fried food every day. You just can't. Like once we hit a certain age, but it takes a recalibration in our minds to be like, no, I can't eat like that. I can't do it like, I can't. My lifestyle on and keeping myself healthy has to change.
That
Once.
And you
You
know
don't.
what I kind of realized about that saying, I can't do it like I used to do it.
Yeah.
We didn't really do it very well back then. We were still messing up. I was thinking the other day, I was like, man, I was so tired because I stayed up late for work. And I was like, man, it ain't like when I was a kid or younger. And I was like, wait, yeah, it was. I was still real, real tired at work and having a tough time staying up. Like, you're just not supposed to live and treat your body like that. Like, bottom line, age or not, like it feels like to me, and I think in our mind, feels like we did it a lot better because we were younger. And it looks like we did it a lot better. But I think now you're just more cognizant of it. But like I remember falling asleep at the desk. We're like, like, oh, my bad. Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's just we're not supposed to. But he makes a good point. We do need to treat our body well, and we shouldn't wait. And like you said, to the last minute to decide, like, oh, I need to go get this exam, or now that you have cancer in the prostate, you're like, well, I should go get a prostate. And then, like, yeah, you should have. Like, there's a reason that science has decided that these exams are healthy for you. And we talked about a few of the big ones. Um, and I just want to kind of list these off for guys because I was just really surprised that it wasn't really more than this. Physical examination, blood pressure screening, cholesterol screening, like we said with Ice T, diabetes screening, colorectal cancer screening, dental exam, and eye exam.
And those are for women too. By
Yeah,
the those are human those are humans over 40 exams or and just yeah, to have.
and
Yes.
I figured that it's like it seems very basic for us as men, but like, what about on y'all side? Like, is there any additional exams to that? That's just basically that's it.
That's basically it. Like I said, unless you have a history of something, but as far as the basic exams, that's the mammogram is like I said, the I think the mammogram and the prostate, those are the
The big two.
differentiated
Yeah.
differentiated ones.
So eventually, when I go to the doctor for this exam when I'm 50 and you guys are still watching the show and enjoying it, then I'll be able to talk about that experience. You remember when you came to the other show when I was doing podcasts and you gave
Mhm.
me my flu shot live on the air?
I did, I remember that, I
Yeah,
remember that.
that's my first flu shot.
That was your first. Yeah,
Yeah,
well, of course, now we have all kinds of immunizations, and we're adding to the
to
list,
that. Yeah, so look, we're not
but
gonna jump into immunizations
no, no,
today because
I don't wanna
eh,
touch that today either.
'cause,
I'm not prepared for that discussion.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
But overall, with these exams, and what I say now, like, and you mentioned earlier, being cognitive of your body and how you feel. And that's very important, I feel, in being in tune with how you feel. And as I slowly am still transitioning, but transition into more so viewing my body as to how it's supposed to function
Mhm,
more than what it looks like. You know what I
mhm.
mean? So my insurance, listen, the insurance got to be on point
Yep,
because now and then now my thing too is you paying for this insurance, I'm getting everything. Like
exactly.
if I can get, I'm like you, no, run them, run these tests, run them.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
no, I don't, no, run the test. I want to go see, and if my insurance cover, I'm seeing the chiropractor, I'm seeing the eye doctor, I'm seeing the whoever covered.
yep. I'm going to get my
I'm coming.
vision exam
Yeah,
next week.
yeah,
So at the end of the year, I get my end of the year vision exam. I might just do that one place where I get them two frames and the eye exam for the one price. But
it don't matter. Wherever you go, just get them done.
get them done. Check it out. And so I'm very surprised to see that on the other side that the exams are not very big and very different. So I learned a few things here today.
Well,
Uh,
we all the human body is the human body.
it is.
Only the only organ that we the reproductive organs are the only organs that are not the same.
That's it. And I'm surprised. Like I said, that would be the only thing that y'all have that gets checked on it. Because I mean, no, I mean we just I guess the prostate, long as that works, other than testicular cancer, there's no
Mhm,
real testing for
mhm.
that until it shows up. So just gotta stay vigilant, gotta stay healthy. As my godmother says, as you get older, the fight is to stay alive. And so that's it's just a different fight to stay alive. So
It is.
Like I say, I learned a little bit. I'm surprised. I thought y'all probably had like 15 and 16 different science exams that y'all had to do when y'all go to the OBGYN. But I mean, you can clearly see I was off about how I thought that the
How
pap
that
smear went.
whole process worked.
Yeah.
No, I encourage as y'all's resident doctor,
Yay.
uh, I encourage everyone to get your exams, be diligent with uh, understanding how your body is supposed to work, how you feel. Going back to the blood pressure, a lot of times, people don't even realize, especially Black people, that we're walking around with, sky high blood pressures, which a
Mhm,
normal blood pressure for people is less than 120 over less than 70.
mhm.
So, you have people walking around here with 200 over 100 blood pressure easy and saying that
Healthy as a horse.
well, they don't necessarily say they don't even realize it.
Mm,
And then for somebody who has a normal to go from if you're real cognitive of how you feel, that should feel different. And then
mhm,
a lot of times what I've heard some of my patients in the past, what they'll say is that they'll get on blood pressure medication and they feel different. They don't
mhm.
like how because they're not used to feeling more normal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Having an even more normal blood pressure. They're used to functioning off balance.
Mhm.
So but no, that because your blood pressure and most of the time you'll see high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, they kind of all run together. Usually if you got one that's way out of whack, the other two are either already out of whack or on their way. They really kind of dance together,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be all the way hypertensive or you know uh, diabetes that requires insulin shots all the time, which then your kidneys and all that starts. So then it becomes this real trickle effect of your
Mhm.
organs, and on trying to get that back balance can be very challenging. But the whole process of just being healthy can be very challenging culturally, especially
Mhm.
for Black people.
As we get close to those second holiday times, and that food is around, and then we also get close to January where we start talking about New Year's resolutions. That's a good show. We need to start talking about New Year's resolutions and
Okay.
why people fail
Hmm.
and why you're not successful with those New Year's resolutions and how
Okay.
we can fix that.
Okay.
That's
Remember that topic. You got it.
that's yeah, yeah. I mean, we got because we got Christmas time coming up. Luckily, Christmas is on a weekend, so
Okay.
we don't have to miss the show. We can do Thursday show and get ready. But yeah, we got some hotness coming for you in the month of December. Look, I appreciate everybody coming and checking out the show. All 737 of you wonderful people checking out the show. And we'll get back to you next week. I'm looking at the calendar and I might want to talk about New Year's resolutions next week because
Next week?
yeah,
Okay.
because
Ready
it
for that?
it makes no sense to start or talk about your New Year's resolution on New Year's because then you don't really have a plan.
Okay.
So let's talk about them next week.
Okay. Sounds good.
Sounds good. So look, y'all go home, get your New Year's resolutions ready. Make sure you're ready to share them with us next week. We'll
Schedule your
share.
doctor's appointments.
Yep.
Wait, this is the end of the let me just say, this is the end of the year. It may be tough to make your appointments now, but if you have your health benefits, all that's gonna start over in January. So
Mhm,
if you got some things to do, you can try to get to your doctor if they're open. I doubt it. But
mhm.
if not, I say as soon as the year starts, start scheduling that way. If there's anything major to come up, you can get everything done within one deductible because those deductibles start over each year.
There you go. And on that note, y'all get your deductible, and I'm going to get my deductible, and we'll catch y'all next week with New Year's resolutions. We are
See you in the
outie.